will say, like when we're working with clients and their sabotage is their biggest issue, and we go, okay, cool. What always happens? For some people, it's when they start losing weight, they start binge eating. Well, okay, we have to address that. For some people, it doesn't hit until they start losing motivation, then they quit showing up. For some people, it's whenever they actually, like, let's say the scale fluctuates up, they freak out and they sabotage. For others, it's as soon as they start seeing progress, they deny the progress. Like they'll lose a couple inches and they're like, oh, but I'm still fat. Well, you denying your progress was sabotage happening because you're eventually going to fall off. For some, it's oh, I do really well, then I get busy and then I quit prioritizing myself. Or I do really well, but then my husband gets sick or the kids have soccer. Everyone's different. So my question to you listeners is, what are the top 5 things that happen over the last decade you trying to diet? When you sabotage, what always happens? There's a science to sabotage and there's a paper trail. So everyone knows. If you were to sit down and reflect, and I said, what are the commonalities that happen every time you sabotage? You'll come out with the same like 4 to 6. And then once you have those, you're like, oh yeah, every time I lose weight, about 3 months in, I lose motivation and I quit working out, or I quit going to the gym, or I do really good, then I quit tracking my calories, or I lose motivation and I quit journaling, or whatever it may be. Now we got to create an action plan around those specific things. There's a game I tell our clients to play is I call it the if this, then what game. So right now you guys have, if you did what I said, you took inventory over what's the top ways you always sabotage, because it's usually the same ways every time. So now we create a plan for each. If this happens, you lose motivation. Then what? Make your plan. If this happens, you get busy. Then what? You're going to tweak your plan to where you can be consistent no matter how busy you are. If this happens, whatever. So you take you take inventory. What are the top things that happen every time I've sabotaged over the last like 5 or 10 years? Cool. Make a list. If this happens, number 1, then what am I going to do? If this happens, number 2, then what am I going to do? If this happens again, what am I going to do? It's really calculated. Now, here's the last part. Stay ready so you don't have to get ready. Too often people think the solution to their issue is a new coach, a new diet, a new program. It doesn't matter. You guys can have like literally the best coach ever. You guys could be working with me or working with Ruby, and we're going to give you literally the best program and plan on the internet. But that's not going to stop sabotage from happening.